Welcome back, everyone. Game number 2 of a 3-game tilt between Kansas and Creighton, and we're quickly underway.
Huge shout out to our guy in the truck and in the booth, Trevor, setting us up with a fresh battery on the camera.
Doing what I can, as that's called for strike 2. Owen McGovern leading things off here for the Jayhawks. Kansas dropped game 1. 4-0 was the final score there, and we're back for the second game of a day 1 doubleheader. As McGovern swings through to strike 3, and there's one down. So Grant O'Doherty batting in the 2-hole for game number 2. It's a little bit of a different lineup. Some guys that didn't go in game 1 getting the nod here in the second game as the wind continues to pick up. Really drop the temperature here. McGovern takes ball 1.
You mentioned the temperature, and I just have to take a second. If my mom's still watching, and there she was. I got another sweatshirt on. Mom was very adamant. She was saying, "You're going to be cold, you're going to be cold." And I said, "I'm fine." And you know what? We're still fine.
Definitely chilly, but could be very worse. And all of a sudden, Grant O'Doherty behind in this one, 0-2. It was a complete game shutout for Drew Meyer in game 1, and now Nick Johannes on the mound for game number 2 for the Blue Jays. Already got 1 strikeout, looking to make it 2. Left in the dirt. A little tougher in this one just because of the weather. Definitely playing a little bit of a factor. Everyone just trying to stay warm.
I think we saw in the first game, too, how much the weather really does affect not only us, but the ball. Obviously, when it's colder outside, it's not going to travel as far.
And O'Doherty goes down on strikes so quickly. 2 strikeouts for Nick Johannes, and that'll bring up the 3-hole hitter here. It's Ben McDonald, another guy who had a very strong fall season out in Louisiana, but looking to get things going here, and he just exchanged some chirps with that Creighton dugout. So that's called for strike 1. Johannes quick to work here for Creighton. As that's just outside. We've got, like we said, we've got a new battery in the camera. We're back to it. As that is pierced but foul, and it'll bounce off the netting.
Give props to Creighton's got a little bit of a fan base here. Even with the weather, they got a lot of people here watching.
Yeah, there's quite a few people right here. Part of it is that this little athletic complex that we're in right now is right in between all of the university housing for Creighton, as that's going to be driven foul again. Yeah, right in the middle of all the university housing, so that definitely plays a little bit of a role, but even with the weather, people sticking it out to go watch some club baseball. It's pretty cool. So you can hear the wind continue to pick up. And that is called for strike 3, so Nick Johannes makes quick work here in the first. We head to the bottom. So we are back here for the bottom of the first. Kansas going 1-2-3 in the top part of the frame, but it'll be Danny Kolditz, the Diesel, going to the mound to start things off here for the Jayhawks. His first pitch. Called for strike number 1, and we are back underway here in the bottom of the first.
That'll be something to keep an eye on. Didn't see a whole lot of out of the Kansas side last game, but the first pitch strikes. So much easier to pitch ahead and throw what you want.
Taken down low, and it's Seth Austin leading things off for Creighton as the count goes even 1-1. Last game of the day here. We'll play another tomorrow starting at 10 o'clock a.m. Central. That's called for strike 2.
Really nice here early, living on the outside corner. Seems to be on from our short sample size.
Kolditz looking for the punch out. And he'll get just that. Breaking ball drops into the zone, and there's one down.
First 4 outs of the game, all punchies. See if that becomes a theme for the second half of our day.
So John Frost will now step in, looking to become the first non-strikeout of the ballgame so far. And first pitch swinging is just looped on over to McGovern at short, who makes the play with ease, and there's 2 down.
Right on cue again.
And now is where we start looking at things and saying, I'm going to be so honest, I completely just lost my train of thought.
That happens. And you know what? That's club baseball sometimes.
That is. I had something really insightful to say, and I completely lost it. I remembered what it was. I was going to say, now is where you start looking at this and you think, after a game like Kansas just had where they really struggled with 2 outs and seemed to make a lot of mental mistakes on the verge of getting out of the inning, how can they right the ship and escape innings today?
And it's cold, but everybody's feeling the same cold, and it's really just you got to dig deep and find what you can.
A little high, and the count is even 1-1. Kolditz eyeing down his catcher Charlie Marshall, looking for the sign. As that's going to be tapped on over towards second. Throw on to first, and Creighton goes 1-2-3. We head to the second. Still zeros on the scoreboard. So back here for the second, Justin Orloff leading things off, batting cleanup and designated hitting thus far. After this first offering, we'll take a look at the lineup for Kansas, as it's taken for strike 1. So we saw McGovern lead off. He's playing short. Grant O'Doherty over at second. Ben McDonald playing first. Taken for strike two. Orloff cleaning up and DHing. Peter Duma on deck. He'll be the third baseman. Nick Griffin playing in right. Eli Greenfield in center, as that's outside for ball one. Charlie Marshall will bat eighth, and he sets up shop behind the plate. Actually cannot read who is batting or who's playing left and batting ninth. But it's Danny Cole that's on the mound as Orloff swings through it, throw down to first in time to get him. 4 strikeouts to open things up thus far.
Heard a little wager from the Creighton student checks on the side bet. Said if you get 2 strikeouts this inning, I'll buy you a 30 rack. Now, I don't think a 30 rack of Sprites, cold pops, doesn't sound great right now. But that is the bet that I heard. And he's halfway there.
So Peter Duma stepping in here ahead 1-0 in the count. And that'll make it 2-0. Duma working from ahead in the count. And he'll continue to extend that lead. It's 3-0 now. Three and 0 count, auto take. And that's ball 4. So the first base runner of the day is Peter Duma here in the second inning for Kansas.
Little fork in the road here after a little bit of, not a little bit of trouble, but a little bit of losing my train of thought again.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I don't think my mic is working.
I think it is.
Oh, there it is now.
Should be.
I didn't see the green bar.
Yeah, it was just moved up here. No worries.
Okay.
Now we're all good. So back to work now. It's Nick Griffin stepping in. Throwback to first. In time to get him. A big-time lead from Peter Duma. And he is nabbed over at first. There's 2 down.
Caught him napping there. He didn't fully look like he knew what he was getting thrown at. Kind of just froze and in turn ended up being about a step late.
So Griffin getting to work now. This will take that one down low.
Great way to make up for a walk is just pick them off yourself.
As again, that's taken low.
Looking like a little bit of a smaller strike zone compared to last game. Doesn't seem to like the low ones as much.
As that's lined over toward first, gobbled up, and we head to the bottom of the second. Technically, it's another 1-2-3 inning. So we'll go back to it here in the bottom of the second. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3 they've gone so far.
Got a quick one going so far, huh?
Knock on wood, don't jinx it.
Hopefully they're looking to keep it quick, at least in this inning.
So back to work is Danny Kolditz after retiring the first 3 he saw. And that's down low for ball 1 to open us up. On a day that's gotten increasingly chillier as the shadows have grown longer. Both teams fighting it out here. Creighton will look to move to 11-0 as that runs inside. Kolditz trailing in the count 2-0 now. Hit pretty well out towards center field. And he can't make the play. Greenfield couldn't haul it in. Rounding and heading for third. And that's where they'll hold him. Eli Greenfield couldn't haul it in. And it's a leadoff triple for Creighton to start things off here in the second inning.
I think the sun had a factor on that one. The sun just perfectly behind home plate right now, perfectly in his eyes. That's a tough play.
Yeah, Greenfield just missed it.
Playing into it as it landed about halfway in the outfield and rolled all the way to the wall.
So the Blue Jays now with an opportunity to take the first lead of the ball game. Taken for a ball, thought about coming home, but he holds.
Not a bad spot. First pitch, don't want to give him just a meatball. The outside corner was a lot livelier last game. Tighter zone this one.
Kolditz gets back to work now. And again down low, he's trying to work the bottom of the zone, just unable to do so thus far.
Be interesting to see if that zone opens up as we progress here in Omaha.
And again, continuing to leave everything low is Kolditz, and it's 3-0. Take it up high for ball 4. Kolditz looking for his sign now. Comes set. And the ball rolls away. It was a good throw, but everybody's going to move up again, and that is how Creighton takes an early lead. 1-0 Blue Jays as a runner moves to third. The throw down it appeared to be dropped almost. And Creighton strikes first once again. It's 1-0 Blue Jays.
Perfectly executed slide step. They had him exactly where they want him, and they had him. They had him at second base if he holds on to the ball. Somehow scorched free. And unfortunate for the Jayhawks.
As that one's going to skip away from Marshall now. They'll hold him on third, though. As that's called for strike 1 at the knees. An auto take on 2-0. Kolditz able to work his way back into this at bat a little bit.
Gotta live there, live low.
As that's called for strike 2, and we are back to even. I'm sorry, that was strike 3. My apologies there, as there's one down here in the second. So Kolditz looking to work around the early damage. As that again is low, he holds it third.
It's talked last game about release point. When you're missing low like this repeatedly, more than likely holding on to the ball for just a fraction of a second too long. You got to get that release point just a little bit higher.
Kicks and deals. And it's foul. As you can see, a lot of players wearing those kind of head socks, balaclavas you might call them, long sleeves. Trying to stay warm out here. It's not easy with the wind. As that's hit over toward third, it's going to skip over Duma's head. Another run will come around to score. Just took a weird hop over Peter Duma's head. He couldn't reach up and make the play. A base hit single, and it's 2-0 Creighton with one away here in the second.
Not much you can do there. Perfectly executed his pitch. Just chopped it in the ground. Got a nice bounce to barely get over the third baseman's head on into left field.
Cole, thank you. We appreciate that. No, it's a good time. You know, we've said it's chilly out here, but it's always fun to get to come do something like this.
Cool ball.
First offering there is going to be hit out toward right field. He lost it in the sun again. Nick Griffin couldn't make the play. Green light is on. They're going to send one home. Here comes the throw. In time to get him. An excellent relay ends with Charlie Marshall tagging the runner out at home. The other stays at third. But Kansas limits the damage here a little bit.
Perfect rebound there from a little mishap with the sun. The sun is a big factor. It's killer right now.
Yeah.
And to be able to get out of that without giving up a run is huge.
So 2 down, and there will be another conversation between the umpires and Creighton's manager.
Got the fans behind us chirping the umpires here a little bit. The manager / catcher for Creighton, he's chirping too. We saw him chirping last game.
Yeah.
He was out. I don't know what you want.
So 2 down now here in the second. Kansas trying to escape with limited damage here. There's still a runner sitting 90 feet away. As that's taken outside for ball one, must have just missed. Colditz looks for the sign and fires. Again, up high, an athletic play there from Marshall.
Starting to notice the zone here. He doesn't seem to like the outside ones or the low ones. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out as the game progresses.
Now the 2-0. That one's called for strike one, and Colditz gets one back. Trying to work his way through a second inning that's caused Kansas some trouble. Outside for ball number 3, and it'll be a hitter's count here, 3-1.
Don't want to give him anything too good here. Down 2 balls. Try and nibble. Got a base open. You don't want to let him make the damage way worse.
And it's taken outside for ball 4, and that'll put runners back on the corners. You saw Marshall kind of motion out to Colditz, trying to reassure him, calm him down a little bit. So it'll be runners at first and third with 2 away here in the second.
He's got that breaking ball working early. See if he tries to lean on that pitch a little bit more, because that seems to be where he's getting the calls. They don't seem to be swinging at it.
So Colditz now ahead in the count, 0-1. Runner tucks and goes, and defensive indifference called for strike 2. He'll slide in anyway and hit a little dance. So Colditz now is going to look for the punch out to try and get out of this frame. Runners on second and third, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ooh, ripped foul back toward the Creighton dugout. Everybody's got to duck out of the way.
Keeping them on their toes over there.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of guys standing outside of the dugout. Luckily, didn't take one of the shins.
That would
Not
not
feel
have
great
felt
on a
good
cold
this
day
weather,
like
yeah.
this.
And that's called for strike 3. Creighton gets a couple and takes the lead as we head to the third. 2-0 Blue Jays your score. Back here for the third inning, Kansas now looking for a response after falling behind 2-0 in the bottom of the second. It'll be Eli Greenfield starting us off. First pitch in the dirt.
Real quick here, Cole Bob, see you in the chat. Welcome in. Thanks for the support. Means a lot.
1-0. Squares around a bunt and pulls back.
I like the idea. Need base runners. And even as a pitcher, it kind of throws you off when you see them square around a bunt.
And that'll make it 3-0. So Greenfield looking to negotiate a leadoff walk. You drew a couple of them in the first game. And he'll do just that, a 4-pitch walk for Eli Greenfield to get things going here in the third.
Good start. Need base runners. Need a lot of them against this strong Creighton team, and see if they can't turn that into something here and make him pay for his leadoff walk.
So Charlie Marshall will step in. He had a few timely base hits back in the fall. And we'll see if he can pick one up here to try and continue sparking this rally. Swings through the first offering.
Filthy curveball there. Beautiful pitch. A lot harder to lay off than it seems.
Oh, 1. Throwback to first, and this time Greenfield is smart and gets back.
May as well try it again. Caught him napping last inning.
Can't hurt.
Keep him honest over there.
0-1.
Big lead.
And he's got to step off. Yeah, you said it. There's a huge lead over at first.
Try and stay in his head. Now they throw. In his head over there a little bit.
And the Creighton dugout is chirping Charlie Marshall. As he'll tap one over towards second, could be two. Throw, oh, it skies over his head. Got through. Greenfield will hold at second. Had a little bit of a Rex Hudler moment right there with the little exclamation, but everybody's going to be safe.
Caught him by surprise. Maybe the chirping didn't come out to help. It's nothing more embarrassing than getting shown up on a chirp.
Yeah, that is rough. So Billy Bryson will step in now.
Well, Jose Bautista, I don't know if you remember, fan was heckling him, talking about something in his back pocket, and he said, "What is that, your checkbook?" And Bautista goes, "My checkbook doesn't fit in my back pocket."
Lays down the bunt, but it goes foul.
Everybody loves a good comeback. See if he can't move him over here, get a couple ducks on the pond.
Swings through strike two, and he's behind in the count 0-2 now. Bryson will look to defend the plate here and try and work his way back into this one. Runners on first and second. Still nobody away.
Big gap on that right side. See if he can't ground something through and score a couple.
Swings through for strike three, and there's one away. So back to the top of the order, Owen McGovern will step in here.
You tell him, bro. You tell him.
Keeping the chirping going.
Yeah, Creighton really bringing the energy here. So Owen McGovern with an opportunity to drive in some runs. And he'll have to step off here. Greenfield dancing around over in second. Fires home now. Left in the dirt for ball one. Skipped away, but everybody holds.
Fans getting in on the action. A little bit of heckling, one might say.
You could certainly say that. I'd have to agree. 1-0 here. Called for strike one, and we go back to even here.
I love the way Greenfield's working out on second base. Hopping back and forth, moving around, staying active, but he's keeping the pitcher in it, staying in his head a little bit.
McGovern grounds that one toward third. Steps on the bag. They won't get first or second, but Greenfield is retired from third, and there's two down. So with two down, Grant O'Doherty will now have a chance to try and drive in something.
Need to find a way to cash in here.
That's taken for strike number one. Steps off and has to look back at second again. Kansas very active on the base path so far, trying to draw a throw. O'Doherty grounds it foul.
Somebody over in that Kansas dugout tried to put a bare hand and grab that.
Interesting choice.
Stinger, not with this weather. I will pass and let that roll past.
Kicks and fires. Grounded over toward third. He'll step on the bag again. And Creighton escapes the jam as we head to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Blue Jays, still your score. back here for the bottom of the third. Creighton added 2 in the bottom of the second. And now they'll have an opportunity to extend that lead. We've talked a lot about the weather, and I just looked. It said it's 47 degrees outside, but it feels like 38. It certainly does not feel like 38. I will say that, as that's taken for strike number 1. Clear evening, but certainly very chilly.
The sun's out, just not providing as much warmth.
Yeah, so that's fouled back for strike number 2. Coldett's looking for an efficient start to the inning here. Coldett's the 0-2. Is looped out toward right field, and it drops right in front of Griffin. He couldn't see it. It bounces over his head. And he'll stop at second. Nick Griffin couldn't see it again. The sun's still really a factor out in right field.
Routine looking play, not so routine, but he's having a tough time out there, fighting that sun, fighting the wind.
Not a lot you can do.
From a pitching standpoint, it just feels terrible to get him 0-2, and now he's standing on second base with nobody out.
First offering is swung through for strike number 1, so Coldett's will have to work around that leadoff double. Oh, 1 now. Down low, and the count goes even 1-1.
Not a bad spot there again. Close. Control what you can control. Just keep on pumping strikes and make your defense work.
Fouled back for strike number 2. Coldett's looking for the punch out now. Grounded over toward third. Duma looks at second, throws over, tagged down in time. A smart play by Peter Duma to throw over to second, and there's 1 away.
Great job. Stay heads up play out there. Take a runner out of scoring position.
So now a runner on first. Coldett's would love a ground ball, and for his defense behind him to spin a double play. In the dirt, ball 1 to start things off.
Another thing to start to keep an eye on is the shadows here are starting to roll in, especially on that left side. Could be kind of tough to see when it comes in. The ball's coming in from a light to a dark area.
Again, down low. This time it'll make it 2-0. Kicks and fires. Up high, 3-0. And now you assume it's an auto take here. Don't want to swing at anything too silly. Coldett's looking for a way back in. And he'll do it there. Strike 1 as he slots it right down the middle. And you can hear the Creighton dugout saying that he's going to swing this time. He might take, you never know. Anything close, though. That runs inside, and he'll take a walk, 2 aboard, with only 1 away.
Got to get right back in that strike zone. Don't want your defense sitting out there for too long and start to lose interest, lose focus. And we've seen a couple of times where routine plays go south.
chopped foul, and that's how this one will start off. And especially in a situation like this where how cold it is, you want your defense to be alert and moving around, but if they're stuck out there for too long, they're going to start freezing up.
The worst thing that can happen in baseball is when you're standing still.
Coldit's looking for a way out now. Bounces off the chest protector of Marshall. Everybody stays where they are.
Nice play there to keep it in front of them. Don't let the runners advance.
Coldit's the 1-1. Inside ball 2.
It's hard to tell how inside that was, but I mentioned earlier how he doesn't really like him low, doesn't like him outside. I don't know how far up that is. That was inside. But a small zone.
2-1 is going to be grounded through the gap. Green light is on. One run will come around to score. Griffin fires home. It'll end up with Marshall, who throws back to second. Tag applied in time. Creighton scores 1, but there's 2 away as he tried to advance for second. So that'll make it 3-0 Blue Jays here in the third.
Nice job by the catcher to be alert. Cut him down at second.
Marshall popping right back up and firing down, like you said, a great throw.
A little bit of help there from the hitter. Probably shouldn't have gone, as he was out by quite a wide margin.
Now with 2 down, Coldit's looking to find a way out of the inning.
Brought the heat with that one, blew it right past him.
And Creighton really coming out swinging now, trying to extend that lead.
Wouldn't be smart to give him anything else here. He's late twice. Try and blow it right past him again, or off speed in the dirt.
0-2. Got him swinging. 3 straight strikes from Danny Colditz will take us to the fourth. 3-0 Creighton.
Back here in the fourth inning, changing roles a little bit. I'm here, Mason Kuntz, doing the play-by-play here for this inning. So we got the leadoff man on. Not the leadoff man on, but top of the order here to start the fourth. We got ball 1.
So it'll be Ben McDonald here stepping in, like you said, for Kansas.
So the 1-0, this is just outside. He's been on a roll for the most part. A little bit of trouble last inning he ran into, so he's going to look to see if he can't make this one quicker, get his bats back out. 2-0 is on the bottom half of the zone for strike number 1.
And it seemed like a pretty close pitch there at the bottom of the zone, but just going the way the pitcher went.
now takes another hit. Hitters count +2 is 3-1. His offering is in there, and it's a full count.
Very nicely located off speed right there to try and bring it back into this at bat a little bit.
Payoff pitch was a close one, but at the end of it all, it's outside for a leadoff walk.
Definitely a sigh of relief right there from Ben McDonald. A very close pitch on that outside corner, at least from our angle.
Might have been too close. This one's sliced foul off onto the softball field.
Justin Orloff looking to continue inflicting a little bit of damage. He was in Ireland for spring break, not in PCB. We got to see a lot of those pictures. Seemed like a pretty good time for him.
It's going to be interesting, St. Patrick's Day in Ireland.
Oh, I'm sure.
Cuts on this one, just a hair late. It's 0-2. It's been known to give him the off-speed in the dirt. Goes for a pickoff. Not in time. Saw it in the first inning. He got one man. Got a quick move.
Yeah, like you were saying, the pick back worked earlier first, but yet to see it work out again since then.
Takes this one up at his head for ball number 1. The 1-2 on its way. Got him swinging. He is retired.
So one down now. It'll be Peter Duma stepping in.
First pitch on its way is high. Looks like a slider there.
And the Creighton dugout thinks that Peter Duma is Nick Griffin. They are chirping him as if he is Nick Griffin.
If you're going to get your chirps, do it right.
Exactly.
Foul tip into the glove. Evens the count at 1. He's working quick out there. Gets the ball back, gets a sign. 2 steps, 2 seconds. This one comes in and nails him. And I can't imagine on a day like this, it feels great.
And the responding chirp to them making fun of Doom is Evo Shield. Whoa, Evo Shield. Someone from the Kansas dugout going, that's why we wear the Evo Shield.
Every extra bit of protection always helps. So with men on first and second, first pitch is taken low.
And now Nick Griffin will step in.
The real Nick Griffin.
Would the real Nick Griffin please stand up? I guess he is in the batter's box right now.
I like that reference. That one is in there for strike number 1. So he's got a couple runners out there for him. See what he can't do to maybe bring one across. 3-0 Creighton here in the 4th inning with 1 away. Pitch is in there for strike 2.
So Griffin's definitely going to have to defend right here. Start fouling some stuff off most likely.
Off-speed pitch is away. 2's on the count. So does he go for the off-speed or does he come back inside with a fastball?
Interesting choice here. I mean, I feel like you go fastball.
It's the off-speed, and he slices that one foul. Now he's making him work. Putting up a fight. Just keep fouling him off till you get the one that you want and see if you can't make him pay for it.
Griffin looking to continue staying alive here.
Two pitch is fouled back again. So he goes with the fastball twice. See if he doesn't maybe change it up here, come back with an off speed. Or do you go back to the fastball again?
I think you lean on the fastball.
Men on first and second. Still a 2-2 count. Pitcher comes, sets, kicks, and deals. It's an off-speed pitch, low, but Griffin fights it off again.
Griffin continuing to work that count, doing just as we said.
He's motioning towards the pitcher. I think he's saying he's not coming set. He believes that he needs to take one more second. I think he's blocking. He steps off. He's going to get his signs again. And that happens sometimes when you're working fast, like he is. 2-2 again. Late called third strike. Griffin doesn't agree, and I gotta say, I think I agree with him. Very late call for the second out. So that leaves it to the lefty with 2 outs. First pitch is cut on and missed for strike number 1.
Greenfield drew a walk last time up. He'll look to do the same here, hopefully.
Wide gap on that right center, and he rolls it to first. Tough play. Gets in front of it, makes the play. That'll end the inning. So we're back here in Omaha. Creighton with a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 4th inning. Tony Colditz still on the bump for the Jayhawks. It's Jackson Lowent. He takes ball in number 1. Trevor's got that name for me one more time. I'm pretty sure I messed it up.
No, you're right. Jackson Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Apologies.
All good. Told it's struggling here in the 4th, already behind in the count 2-0. Missed high and missed low.
See if he can't average the 2 out and get him in the middle here. The 2-0 is a changeup and a beautiful one at that. as he cuts on it and misses.
And Lawrence
it's
absolutely
2-1.
swung out of his shoes right there. Almost corkscrewed himself.
Hitting square on the controller for the power swing. Another one. Fastball this time. He swings through it, and it's 2-2. MLB The Show reference there for those of you. The square. So the 2-2 is a bender, and it's high.
I think you mean the X button for power swing.
Xbox players,
or
it's
real
X.
console.
Same difference.
Oh, I do not have the show this year, unfortunately.
Payoff pitch is a called third strike, and Laurent is not happy.
Well, good thing he flipped his bat all the way back to the dugout.
Maybe somebody else will pick it up for him. Once again, I would have to say I think I agree with him. Maybe Blue's trying to move this game along here. It's Nick Fisher. And Fisher takes one low. Similar spot as the last one. Blue Jays still with a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the fourth. As Danny Kolditz deals his second offering in there for strike one. Kolditz having himself a decent day. Out of the 3 runs, I'd say probably 2 of them earned. Got a couple of punchies. 1-1. A half swing, but it's a full swing in the eyes of the home plate umpires.
Sword right there.
Somewhere Trevor Bauer's smiling. Love to see him back in the MLB soon. 1-2 is on the ground to short, and it gets through for a base hit. I think the shadows had a little bit of an effect there as it went off of the heel of his glove and deflected into center field as he pats his chest and says, "That's my bad."
And what's interesting here is that it appears this field has lights, but as the shadows grow longer, those lights have not been flipped on yet. So we'll see if that
Slides
plays an
down.
effect.
In the air, right field, slicing towards the line, and it's off his glove again, and he kicks it into the corner. The runner on first wasn't running. He's stuck about halfway waiting for that ball to get down. And so another one to right field gives him trouble. And now with one out, there are men on second and third. So the Blue Jays are threatening here in the fourth. Already up 3.
With only one away, it's going to be Danny Kolditz's task with trying to find a way out of this jam.
Kolditz offering is a curveball, and it's up and away for ball 1. So the first pitch strikes have started to fall off. Started off hot. Looking to even the count. It's a strike. Foul back. Just under the heater there was the Blue Jays hitter. And turning fouls it straight back out of play. So it's 1-1. Third offering is up, and that will land out of play behind the Jayhawk dugout. So he started him with an off speed, goes 2 fastballs, which were both fouled out of play. We'll see what he does here on a 1-2. His offering is another curveball, and he's way out in front of it. Nice job just to get a bat on it.
interesting swing right there. Just had to kind of chop at it.
Yeah, he had him fooled. Very early and on top of it. But nonetheless, he's able to stay alive to see another one. Off speed, pokes it out. Infield was in, and so he didn't have a great angle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Only one runner comes in to score. It's 4-0, and Creighton once again has runners on the corners. Not what Kivitz was looking for. He got a ground ball, but with the infield in, it was tough to make a play given the speed it was hit at. See if he can't get another ground ball and roll a pair to get him out of it. So just like last game, Creighton has a 4-0 lead again. Now he squares to bunt. Runner on first takes off. They're not even going to bother throwing, a defensive indifference. And so there are now 2 men in scoring position for the Blue Jays. And a 1-0 count. Couple of ducks out on the pond. The 1-0 is a curveball and it's high. Looked like it slipped out of his hands just a little bit earlier. So now with a 2-0 count, you have to be really careful not to give him something over the heart of the plate with 2 men in scoring position. 2-0 pitch is lined into center field off of the second baseman's glove. One comes around to score. Next throw is not in time. So 2 more come in. It's 6-0, and it goes into the corner.
Things just beginning to unravel here in the fourth for Kansas.
And that's been an issue for this team, that they just can't help the big inning. And it's come back to bite them on multiple occasions. So now with a man on second base, Kivitz deals a ball low. Kolditz, excuse me. Having a hard time seeing my lineup card as the wind has a mind of its own and it's just taking it every direction but the one I want it to. Comes back there with a changeup low, swings over the top of it for strike 1. Even count, 1-1. The pitch is a fastball right at first base. He didn't see it. You see him look, and he's pointing at the sun. They send him, and now he's going to be held at third base.
And again, it just seems that nothing can go Kansas's way here in the fourth inning. Still battling the sun.
The first baseman looking at his right fielder, and he says, what I imagine, something along the lines of, man, I feel your pain. That right side has just been given fits by the sun all day. Men on the corners. Guy in first takes off, and they leave him to have it for free again.
Kansas trying to prevent that double steal here, so they're allowing runners to swipe second.
In a game like this, there's no point in throwing and potentially risking another errant throw into the outfield and giving up another run for free.
Still only 1 out in the frame as well, so things having taken a turn for a Kansas team that seemed to be in it for the most part early on.
This one is skied near to left field, camped under his left fielder. He makes the play. Runner on third tags. The throw is cut off. They go to third, and he's cut No, they call him safe. The throw beat him.
Very close play over there at third, but it seems like maybe the tie goes to the runner is the thought process there.
Maybe he missed the tag. It looked. I don't know if he didn't tag him until after. So at the very least, Creighton gets another run, and the Jayhawks get another out. So there's a man on third base with 2 outs. The first pitch is lined into center field, right at him, and he's camped under it to make the play. That'll end the inning. A 4 spot for the Blue Jays. It's 7-0.
So we are back here for the 5th. Kansas, having surrendered the big inning that, like they've said, seems to continue biting them, is now playing from a 7-run deficit as Marshall gets the green light on the first pitch and fouls it back over the baseball training facility.
And teams like Creighton, there's a reason they haven't lost yet. They don't have the big inning. They don't let things snowball.
Creighton they also have had the advantage of playing Mizzou and St. Louis so far, 2 of the teams toward the bottom of the standings in the Mid-AM region, as that is again lined off the training facility. That'll wake everyone up a little bit.
Nice new dent right up there on the roof. Right where the roof meets the side wall.
One, two. Liner right back to the pitcher. An excellent play. And there's one away.
I feel like this is my time to shine. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Beautiful play by the pitchers. Pitchers are, in fact, athletes. Great reflexes there and a nice play.
So there's one down here for Billy Bryson. The bottom of the order for Kansas. It's the 8-9-1 hitters in this frame. First pitch swinging is fouled back.
Well, Trev, I think we just got to get out of the way. In the game of baseball, there's no play that's going to score you 7 runs.
Yeah, that is true.
And so my point in that is you got to do it one man at a time. Got to get guys on, have some good at-bats, and try and get 2 or 3. They still got 2 outs in this inning and two innings left.
Kansas with 8 outs to work with right now as they try to chip into this lead a little bit. as that's down low 3-2. Count full here, I believe. And that is called for strike 3. Bryson watches it, and there's 2 away. So back to the top of the lineup, it's Owen McGovern, the shortstop, looking to spark that rally now. Kicks and deals. First pitch is in the dirt for ball number 1.
Creighton pitching in general has had themselves a day. It's the 5th inning here in the 2nd game. They've had 2 pitchers. This one is trying to match his teammate from the 1st game and go for a complete game shutout. See if the announcer jinx doesn't work in the Jayhawks' favor.
1-0 is cracked back up the middle. There's a base hit. Owen McGovern, the top of the order, coming through with a base hit single. So with 2 outs here in the 5th, Kansas gets a man aboard. And that'll open the door for Grant O'Doherty to try and continue moving things along.
I believe in you. You can get the first point. I believe in you.
Kicks and fires.
Slide step. Quick delivery there, trying to not let the runner on first gain an advantage.
Throw back is not in time. McGovern sliding back in safely. So that is inside to even the count, 1 apiece.
Fans chirping on the other side, saying it's going to be a sad bus ride home.
Too bad we play tomorrow, as that's skied out toward left field and caught. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Kansas still searching for something, now looking to prevent Creighton from adding even more. It's 7-0 Blue Jays. So back to it here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's a new haircut, a new pitcher out on the mound for the Kansas Jayhawks. It's Ryan Tackins out to try and sit a few guys down. Still pretty chilly here.
Biggest thing here is get back to the dugout as fast as you can and try and get to work on offense. Need to get your bats back out there.
Yeah, Kansas will need to find a way back into this one. Tackins goes to work. And he spikes the first pitch.
A little cricket style for his first offering there.
Ready?
1-0. And he leaves it low 2-0.
Kansas pitching today, apart from the first couple innings of this one, have had a tough time finding the zone consistently.
Chopped foul, and it splits in between the legs. Can't imagine that felt good with the weather.
Right off of his calf.
No shin guards, no nothing down there for him. So the 2-1 here from Tackins. Call it for strike 2, and we go even.
You mentioned the shin guards, and that made me think my dad. He'd always tells me, back when I played, we didn't have any of that crap. Now you guys wearing all these different protection. And I think he's just jealous.
Finds a pitch to hit right there, just stayed low, and he golfed it out toward left field, a leadoff single to get things going for Creighton here in the 5th.
Sand wedge, maybe?
Something like that. Thinking more like a 7-iron.
7-iron.
So Tackins looks over toward his dugout. Getting back to work now. He swings at the first pitch he sees. That's lined out toward right field. That could be trouble. It's caught. Oh, he dropped it. But they passed each other.
Bro, he dropped it for the 7th time.
So they passed each other at first. And they point over at our camera. But he did, in fact, pass him. So the lead runner is out. You don't see that every day.
Very rare that happens. Good job there to catch that. I didn't even notice.
Griffin had it and just couldn't hang on. But there's one down now with a man at first.
Really weird. It was completely in its glove, and it somehow squirts out. Unlucky break.
First pitch swing is fouled off.
It's the second time this inning we've seen a Blue Jay foul one off his legs.
Can't feel good.
That's club baseball.
Floated in there, but just outside for ball number 1. Count goes even here. Tackins kicks and deals. Runner goes. Ground ball left side. Duma corrals it. Throw to first. Tough play.
What a scoop.
But a beautiful scoop. You said it. And there's 2 down.
Third baseman has to buy him dinner tonight after that. Saved him big time. Otherwise, that was another sure run for the Jays.
So now 2 down as Tackins looks to get out of the inning. First offering is called for strike 1. seconds, waits for the sign from Marshall. Now steps back into it. And again, it's fouled off. So back-to-back foul balls and a very athletic play by somebody in the Creighton dugout right there to pop up and throw.
So we've mentioned the sun most of the time today, and now as the day has gone on, almost the entire field is covered in shadows. No lights on, so now it's still going to be tough with the shadows.
Grounded over towards second, nearly misplayed, but a throw on to first is in time, and that'll end the frame. Kansas holds them to a shutout here in the fifth. We go to inning number 6, still 7-0 Creighton. So back here for the 6th inning of work, Kansas still looking to get some sort of offensive momentum going. It's going to be Ben McDonald leading us off here.
Lights have just kicked on.
First pitch swinging is hit pretty well, but caught. Sounded good off the bat, but it hangs up there a little too long, and there's one away after only one pitch here in the 6th.
It's one of those where it's a great swing and not the outcome you want, but you got to just tell yourself you did everything you could. It was a good swing, you made good contact, just unlucky right at him, and sometimes that is baseball.
So this is the 3-4-5 hitters for Kansas. Here's the cleanup man, Justin Orloff, who watches that for strike one. Kicks and deals. And just missed for ball one, so the count will go even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. That's down low for ball number 2. Orloff looking to try and find his way aboard here. Leaves that in the dirt, 3-1. After the leadoff flyout, it'll be a hitter's count here for Justin Orloff. Slots in there for strike 2, and the count goes full now.
Nice pitch there. Threw him a little wrinkle, some kind of a sweeper, slider.
Full count offering is taken for ball 4, so with 1 out here in the 6th, Kansas gets a man aboard. So that'll open the door for Peter Duma now with a runner sitting on first. First pitch he sees is a little low, just below the knees for ball one.
Good spot. Just not getting the call.
And left a little outside for ball two.
Big lead on first base.
And down low for 3-0. So you assume an auto take right here as Kansas continues to try and work the count and work this new pitcher.
Need base runners.
3-0 called strike one. You know, you might as well try to take that walk.
Tried to sell it as best he could. The umpire did not buy it.
3-1. Swung through strike two. And with one out here in the sixth, Duma will now have to defend.
Anything close.
3-2. He's fouled back. Duma waits. Pops it up. Shallow right field. Could be trouble. But it's caught and there's two away. So two down here in the top of the sixth, and it'll be Nick Griffin's opportunity to take some hacks. Hitting in the six hole here.
Almost worked. Sky high pop up. Didn't really know who had it. There was right fielder to second base. The whole right side was over there. But they make the play.
First offering to Griffin is taken for strike one. And he was wearing that hoodie earlier in the game. He took it off now, wearing the sleeve on his right arm and the elbow, or the elbow guard on his left. 0-1. A little high, and the count goes even 1-1.
I talked to a couple of guys between games, and I was asking them, why aren't you wearing sleeves? Like, are you not cold? And the truth is, they're cold, but some guys, they just can't play with a sleeve on their arms. It just throws off the way they move, they said.
Taken outside, ball two, but no, you're right. I mean, there's some guys that, you know, you get used to wearing a certain amount of gear, a certain type of gear, and when you're not, it's not great, as that's called for strike three, and that'll end the sixth. We go to the bottom part of the frame. 7-0 Jayhawks, or 7-0 Creighton, your score. Back here for the bottom of the 6th, Creighton in command and looking to maybe try and add on a couple more, if not at least damage the new pitcher, Sean Buden, for Kansas. As the sun has pretty much gone down here. It's getting a little darker. Obviously, skies are still clear, but the shadows have really crept in here. First offering from Buden is swung on a line toward right field. And with only one pitch to lead off single.
Kind of funky sidearm delivery there. Kind of throws you off a little bit. But the hitter was not fooled and punched it right back into right field. Nice contact, line drive.
So Buden back to work with a man on first now. Down low for ball number 1. Grounded left side. Tough play and nobody can get there. Sneaks through the 5-6 gap and there's 2 aboard with none away.
I think the third baseman cutting across there threw the shortstop off. I think that should have been the shortstop's ball. He had the better angle on it, and I think he would have had a better chance of at least getting a guy at first.
So now 2 on with none away here. Buden's first pitch is called for strike 1. And here's the 0-1. After this series is in the books, Kansas will have 2 more away games against Northwest Nazarene University and I believe it's just Nazarene University. My apologies.
Mid-America Nazarene.
That's what it is. I'm thinking of Northwest Nazarene because I believe I know some people at that school. That's gonna bounce by Marshall, and it'll be 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
So after Mid-America Nazarene, they'll have Rockhurst. They'll finally get to play at home.
Yeah, it'll be 3 consecutive series at home against, I believe it's Nebraska, Missouri, and then, or it's
St. Louis.
It's Missouri, Nebraska, and then St. Louis to end the season. May 4th, their final game of the regular season. And if Kansas wants to have a chance at making it back to postseason play after being oh so close to the NCBA World Series last year, they're going to need to start winning some ball games.
And fast.
The 3-1. Swung through strike 2. So now with a full count here. Foul back.
They really need a strikeout here. Can't afford to give them another run. The infield is in.
Full count offering again from Buden. Is taken for ball 4. That'll load the bases with nobody out here in the 6th. And that Creighton dugout is certainly having a good time right now. Up by a touchdown here in the 6th inning.
With the extra point.
Yeah. Bases loaded, nobody away now. And that's called for strike 1.
They're upset he didn't swing. Something they've done a lot of today.
As he holds on that one and stays inside for ball one. Swings through that one for strike two. his dugout is chirping him now.
They are relentless over there. Nobody is safe, not even their own guys.
Yeah. Can't say I've seen that before. That's up high. He's got a limbo out of the way.
Buzz the tower action there. Chin music.
Count goes to 2-2. And he'll step out of the way of that one. Count goes full 3-2. So Budin got ahead, but struggling to get out of the at-bat now. What do you think you throw here? Fastball?
If it's me, I'm throwing a changeup. If I have the confidence in myself that day.
Smacks a high pitch out toward left field. It's caught, but a run will score with ease. Greenfield hauled it in out in left field. Actually, I'm sorry, that was Bryson. Billy Bryson able to haul it in out in left field, but a run scores, and it's 8-0 to the Blue Jays here.
Still nobody. Or
one down now, yeah.
Up until then, nobody away. It's been a long inning here, taxing on Dugan.
Called strike one here with one away. The fifth batter of the inning to hit so far here for Creighton.
Double steal.
Double stealing, like you said. But it's another defensive indifference. No reason to throw down and risk anything else going wrong if you're Kansas. Ground ball back up the middle. Throw is to first. Now home. And they're going to steal a run. Heads up base running from the Blue Jays to swipe a run there. It'll be a runner on third. Nowhere else. My word, I can't talk. With two away. But Creighton stealing another run to make it 9-0 Blue Jays here in the second.
Almost dangerous there. The guy on second took off, and the guy on third wasn't moving.
Yeah, an interesting situation right there.
Out of that.
And they'll hold the runner at third here with two away. And yeah, you heard it. If the runner on third scores and the game is over, the 10-run mercy rule would be in effect. The 1-0. Left up high, ball two. Kansas looking to give themselves one more chance at trying to pull off what would probably be the most miraculous comeback I've ever seen if they're able to plate what would need to be 10 runs, as that's lined over toward short, throw on to first, and we'll go to the seventh. 9-0 Creighton as the Blue Jays add a couple more. So back to it here for the 7th. Eli Greenfield will lead off for Kansas, looking to spark a rally here late on.
And what is in all likelihood the last inning of this game, at this point, you're starting to play for tomorrow. Try and string some hits together, play for a little bit of momentum to take into tomorrow's game, and try and see what you can't do.
First pitch is taken for strike number 1, and hey, you never know, Crazier things have happened in the game of baseball as that's fouled back for strike number 2. We've seen some crazier comebacks occur. The 0-2 to Greenfield. Left in the dirt for ball 1.
Off the top of your head, the greatest comeback, not necessarily in baseball, but in sports that you've seen.
Greatest comeback
Is
in
it
sports
28-3?
I think it's the Cavs 3-1 comeback. Left up high, ball 2.
It's only that was only the second time that's ever happened.
I think that was the first time.
First
In the
time.
finals, at least. I believe that was the first time that a team ever came back from 3-1. 2-2. Left for ball 3, and after falling behind 0-2, Greenfield has worked himself back into this at-bat.
Just last year in the hockey world, Stanley Cup Finals, the Edmonton Oilers were down 3-0. They came back to tie it. They would lose in Game 7, but they almost did it, which would, in my opinion, that would be it.
Oh, yeah. 3-0 comeback in the Stanley Cup Finals. That would have been incredible.
Never happened before. We were oh so close. Just not close enough.
So Greenfield continuing to work the count here. And he'll try it again. Called ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Eli Greenfield. He's had a good eye all day today, drawing a handful of walks in both games. That'll bring Charlie Marshall up with an opportunity to keep things moving station to station. Both of us trying to stay warm out here, trying not to shiver too much. Runner goes as that's going to hit Marshall. He wears it, and there's 2 aboard with nobody away for the 9-hole hitter, Billy Bryson. Bryson, a couple strikeouts today. He'll look to drive one here.
How often you see the number 91 in the sport of baseball?
Greenfield takes off again, throw to third. Gets by him, he'll pop up. He's going to head home, and he'll score with ease. Eli Greenfield doing it the old-fashioned way. Couple steals, and Kansas is on the board here in the 7th. Celebrations all around from the Jayhawk dugout as Kansas gets right back into it. Somebody just yelled, "Is this the dagger?"
Is it fair to say the comeback has begun?
The comeback potentially has begun as Bryson jumps ahead 2-0 in the count. Chopped over toward third. Tough play. Charges it. Bryson's got some speed, but it's not in time. I'm sorry, but the throw is in time. And he's retired. He tried to put the wheels on, just couldn't get there in time. Runner moves to second, and there's one away here for the top of the order, Owen McGovern. Hard 90 right there from Billy Bryson as McGovern's first offering is taken for strike 1. Second offering left outside, count even now. And he had to duck out of the way of that one, and he'll jump ahead 2-1 now.
He's working here in the 7th inning.
A walk and a hit by pitch. Thus far, getting runners on. Here's the 2-1. Takes a big-time hack at that one, but it's right at the second baseman, and there's 2 away. Marshall will move up to third. So Grant O'Doherty, with Kansas is back to the wall, will look to drive in another run. pitch to O'Doherty. Oh, he had to step off for a moment. Steps back on. First pitch incoming to O'Doherty here. And he watches it for strike one. The 0-1 here to Grant O'Doherty. Is left in the dirt for ball one. One here. Swung on and fouled. And Kansas is down to their final strike. Creighton looking to clinch the series victory here. And here's the 1-2.
And now look out for a low.
Clubbed out toward left field. That's going to sit down, and a run will score. Owen McGovern with 2 strikes on him drives in a second run, and Kansas continues to try and chip back into this.
Nice piece of hitting there. Like I said earlier, it's all about momentum.
So it'll be Ben McDonald now. That's going to get through the gap. McDonald, the first pitch single, and there's first and second with 2 away.
Starting to make some noise.
And now time will be called.
Just go out there, calm him down. Hey, man, you got 2 outs. You just need 1 more. Got a big cushion here. Just get this next guy and we all get to go home.
And, you know, we were talking about comebacks. I think the closest almost comeback I've seen in a while was last season. I was watching an Astros-Twins game, and the Twins were down, 13-5 in the 9th. And I forgot who was pitching him. It wasn't Hader.
Ryan Presley, maybe?
It wasn't Presley because, you don't want to use your high leverage guys up 8 runs. But whatever happened, Minnesota had 2 outs on him and scored 7 runs in the 9th.
And then actually incredible. All with 2 outs.
All with 2 outs. Maybe there was 1 out. I don't remember it fully, but I remember Minnesota coming back from down 8 runs, and they made it a 13-12 ball game. And then they just fell short, and I remember breathing the biggest sigh of relief. Here's the 1-1. Chopped foul, and again, Kansas down to their final strike. And again, you can see the second battery about to die on us. So here's the 1-2 to Orloff. Up high, ball 2. And at worst, we'll see if we have to do this radio style once again. 2-2 now here to Orloff. Is tattooed out toward right field. That's going to get down and get by. 1 run will score pretty easily. Orloff digging for second. And a 2-out double makes it a 9-3 ball game.
Here they go again, just not going away.
Yeah, Kansas with no quit in them. And even if this falls short, a positive sign to see for tomorrow and the rest of the season as Kansas shows some fight, shows some life. And my computer is also on 16%. So everything kind of coming down to the wire here. Here's Peter Duma, chops the first pitch he sees over toward first. Throw down, goes over his head! 2 runs are going to score! Peter Duma safe at first. And here's Nick Griffin with a runner sitting on first in a 5-9 ball game.
And that's going to be all she wrote for the Jays pitcher as the coach is out to the mound. At least I believe.
they do here. Now they're going to leave it to him. So Nick Griffin with a chance to continue this late rally that Kansas has put together.
They've made a game out of it.
They will not go quietly into this cold night. And they're telling Peter Duma not to get picked off over at first. Griffin's first pitch he sees is spiked in the dirt for ball number 1.
Don't want to be a Debbie Downer here and discredit this comeback, but also it starts to make you think, what if we made a couple more plays? What would this game look like?
And I believe the camera has just gone on us.
There it is. No video.
And if Griffin can get aboard, we'll grab a new battery. Swings through that one for strike 2, and Nick Griffin now down to his final strike.
For the 3rd consecutive hitter, rallying with 2 strikes.
1-2. Gets by the catcher. Duma heads up into second. And that ball was booted again. It was a drop 3rd strike. Griffin slides in head first, and he's safe. So they called that a 3rd strike. Griffin beating out the throw, though. Greenfield opting to almost square around a bunt. And we've got a new battery, so I'm going to pop up and I'm going to go put that in.
I'll take over for the time being. He bunts it. Foul. First strike. Did I miss any pitches?
It's a 1-1 count. As I believe the camera should be back. Yes, it is. Now we're just hoping my computer can hang on as Greenfield tags one out toward left center field, but it's caught. Kansas mounts a comeback, but falls just short. 9-5. Creighton, your final score. A tough one here for the Jayhawks. Mason, you got anything for us?
So, a flash of color there, flash of brightness, flash of hope, if you will, for the Jayhawks there. And as I mentioned at the start of the inning, you need momentum. You need something to build on, to hang your hat on for tomorrow, and to come out with a different energy. And I think this will help them, and I think this will give them new energy for tomorrow as they try and salvage the series at 10 o'clock.
So that'll do it. Thank you all for joining.